we're gonna jump into cones, okay? So cylinder, if you remember, our formula was pi times the radius squared times height, okay? So let's quickly find the volume of this cylinder, okay? So, all right, so in this case, hold on one second, we've got a radius of 4. Remember, that's the length from the middle to the outside edge of the circle. So our radius is 4 meters, okay? And our height is how tall the cylinder is, and our height here is 6 meters. We got our two numbers. We're going to put them into our formula to figure out what the volume of this guy is, okay? So pi is just a number, 4 is our radius, and 6 is our height. So remember PEMDAS, okay? We got to do exponents before multiplication. 4 squared is 4 times 4, not 4 times 2, 4 times 4. So 4 squared becomes 16, okay? And now we just have some multiplication to do from left to right. So remember pi is 3.14 times 16, okay? Come on, equals, there we go. This guy turns into 50.24. And our last step is to multiply by the height, which we have as 6. So we multiply to get our volume. Meters was our original units up here, so our final units are cubic meters. Okay, so that's a nice quick review on how to find the volume of a cylinder. And we're gonna need to know how to do that in order to talk about cones, which is what we're talking about today. Okay, so a cone is a shape like an ice cream cone. That's why it's called an ice cream cone, right? So it's usually, well, it's always a circular base, and then it comes to a point at the top. Okay, kind of like a witch's hat or an ice cream cone, like I said, or a funnel is kind of sort of like a cone, okay? We have a radius again right here, and then we still have height here, just like we had height with our cylinders, okay? We have a height of our cone. How tall is that cone? Our formula for the volume of a cone is very, very similar to the volume of a cylinder, okay? Volume of a cone is gonna actually be the exact same formula as the volume of a cylinder. But at the end, we're going to divide it by 3. So remember, a fraction just means divide. So this is the same as this, right there, okay? So same exact way that we find a cylinder's volume, but we divide the final answer by 3, which means that a cone, 3 of them will fit into a cylinder that is the same height, okay? So I'm just going to quick erase this, and I'm going to put some numbers into a cone context. Okay, so again, we've got a cone, circle base, we got some height. Let's say we have the same dimensions. So we have a radius that was 4 meters and a height that is 6 meters. Same numbers as the last one. So we're gonna find our volume of this cone using one of these two formulas. We've got pi. Our radius, again, is how long it is from the middle to the edge of the circle. So that's 4 squared, okay? Mr. Pass, if you have a second, can you email Miss F the password? Actually, I don't think I sent you the password. Okay, I'm gonna have to send it to her in a second. All right, and then our height here was 6 meters. Okay, and then we're gonna divide the final answer by 3. So we're gonna do the same process we did before. PEMDAS, exponents first. Okay, so we get 16 again. Okay, we're gonna multiply all the things together just like before. So pi times 16. Again, we got the same numbers that we got in the last one, but we're gonna run through it again just to make sure we're solid on it. We're gonna multiply by the height just like before. Look at, same answer that we got in the beginning. The only difference here is we have to end by dividing by 3. So in this fancy number right here, we're gonna divide by 3. So our volume of a cone is gonna be 100.48. Same units, we got meters up here, so our final answer is going to be cubic meters. So exactly the same process as finding the volume of a cylinder, okay? But at the end, we divide by 3, okay? So we're gonna run through a couple more examples, make sure we're rock solid, okay? And then you guys have 3 practice problems doing this, okay? So let's go through another example. Number 2, pull this down for you, okay? So we've got our cone, circle bottom, 2 centimeters is gonna be our radius, and our height is going to be, let's say, 7 centimeters, okay? So again, we've got our formula, pi r squared h divided by 3. Oops, hold on one second. I'm just going to let Miss F in. Okay, and divide by 3 is our last step. Radius of 2, height of 7. Okay, we've got pi r squared h divided by 3. So we're going to do the top first because that's the volume of our cylinder. If it wasn't a cone, this would be the volume of the cylinder. So 2 squared is 2 times 2. That's 4. So we've got pi times 4. Remember the 3 we don't worry about till the end. We've got pi times 4. And if you guys are feeling fancy, you can do this all in one step. Multiply by 7 too to get the entire top simplified. And my last step is going to be divided by 3 to get our final answer. And this is a big decimal, but we're going to round it. 3, 1. The 0 has a 6 after it, so we round the 0 up. Original units were in centimeters, so our final units are cubic centimeters. Just like all our other volumes, we take our given units and we put cubic in front of it. Coolness? So the volume of this cone is 29.31 cubic centimeters, okay? We're gonna run through one more example, and then I'll let you guys fly and practice this. All right. So number 3, we've got another cone. Let's make this one a big cone. Let's make this 11 feet as our radius, and let's make our height 16 feet. Huge cone, okay? Same process though. We've got our volume. It's our cylinder formula, then we divide by 3. Okay, radius is 11 feet. How tall it is 6 feet. So we're going to put those in. Radius squared times height. Okay, PEMDAS, we got to do exponents first. So 11 squared is 11 times 11. In my handy dandy calculator, I'm going to multiply all 3 things on the top together. So we've got pi, which we know is 3.14, times 121 times 16 to get our gigantic number on the top. But this is a gigantic cone, so it's okay that we get big numbers. And then my last step is going to be to divide by 3, just like we did in the other 2 problems. We have the volume of that cylinder, we divide it by 3 to get the volume of our cone. And again, we have to round to 2 decimal places, so that's going to be 0.35 because the 4 has a 6, which is bigger than 5 after it. Original units were feet, so my final units will be cubic feet. Because whenever we're talking about volume, our units are the same units, but with the word cubic in front of it, because we're in 3 dimensions. Okay? Any